unconventional, so sensational. Make these people open their eyes. Let's go! I'm chipping out a marble block. My ideas haunting every minute round the clock. These critics gonna feel the shock. This is the time I'm giving up everything for you. Now we're making it how we're breaking it, tearing down convention piece by piece. Unconventional, so sensational. Make these people open their eyes. It's all part of the masterpiece. Put the elements together, staying till forever. It's much bigger than you and me. Are you catching on my fever? Lasting for all time. "107 days ago, I started out this project. I haven't seen the sun. They tell me I should let it go, but I won't stop my working until it's over. Now we're making it how we're breaking it, tearing down convention piece by piece. Unconventional, so sensational. Make these people open their eyes. It's all part of the masterpiece. Put the elements together, staying till forever. It's much bigger than you and me. Are you catching on my fever? Lasting for all time. I'm chipping out a marble block. My ideas haunting every minute round the clock. These critics gonna feel the shock. This is the time I'm giving up everything for you. Now, how? Tearing down convention piece by piece. So make these people open their eyes. It's all part of the masterpiece. Put the elements together, staying till forever. It's much bigger than you and me. Are you catching on my fever? Lasting for all time. Put the elements together, staying till forever. It's much bigger than you and me. Are you catching on my fever? Lasting for all time. It's all part of the masterpiece. Put the elements together, staying till forever. It's much bigger than you and me. Are you catching on my fever? Lasting for all time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another Winchester Wednesdays. I am your host, Winchester 572, and I hope things aren't hitching too badly. I don't know why my, streams started dropping frames there. Like, being perfectly honest, yeah, like, with this, I just did a speed test. That should not be happening. Like, I should not be dropping anything. So, yeah, I'm just as baffled by this as you. But anyways, yes, I've gotten the wonderful group of readers back around for yet another night of reading. And yeah, hopefully we should be doing good. I was gonna say reading isn't too taxing. So yes. We we may have to stall slightly, but nevertheless, let us get in to the Cole. Hello, Cole.
Whoop, whoop.
It's the sound of
Greetings.
the police. Oh, sorry.
I guess the police are here.
Well, at least it's not the FBI.
FBI, open up!
I spoke too soon.
Double
Hello.
R said that he required silence to get into characters, so we all just stayed very quiet.
Well, he can mute himself. But yes. Of course, you're still kind of quiet. I can raise you some on my end, but
Oh, me?
yeah.
I won't be quiet once I start yelling.
Oh God.
All right, I turned it up slightly.
Okay. I did as well. So
Oh, good. Then our efforts shall compound into one great outcome.
yes. Also, since I have somebody that actually might give a shit, does my voice sound any better than normal?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not
mean-
having that weird cutout that you used to have. Remember how we would always have like the skipping?
So you want to know what's weird? I should technically have more issues with that, but I don't because I actually have my gate on my console set far heavier, but for some reason with this SM81 I don't have that issue, and so far it's my favorite mic to use for streaming.
Well, that's what you get when you use a $300 mic.
I suppose. Because honestly, I think for this purpose, the SM57s would work better. But no, this is working wonderfully.
Yeah, no, SM81 is a fantastic mic for recording for exactly that purpose.
Yeah. Do you
Well-
have a pop filter or anything on it?
Yeah, I'm running my pop
Okay.
filter on it.
Okay.
But no, I was just really curious about the fact because I thought that it would be picking up. Because right now I'm not using headphones or anything. I'm just using my speakers. And it has great, like super amazing feedback rejection. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, let us get started here with some intro dictionary thingies. So starting off, we have my wonderful co-host Crazy Matt Captain and Sky Rays.
Hello. Dollar bill, y'all. I got fresh $1 bills that were literally made in January 2nd, 2020.
Nice.
Literally brand new. They're cool.
And apparently CMC is dead as usual. Got it. So next up, we have our wonderful fanfic editor, Double R Forest.
Not as I took it from my father, who took it from his father, who won it from a friend in a game of mahjong.
Jesus Christ, I can't understand your accent.
What?
It's like patois mixed with like something.
Yeah. And speaking of accents, we have Chifundo.
Chifundo.
Oh. So here's a fun little story that happened to me today. So I got
You
back
just
home
gonna
from
trample
work.
over somebody's introduction like that? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, that was exactly the point.
Please continue.
Go ahead.
No. You feel free. My introduction shall be your story.
Okay, you want a legit story?
Well,
Okay,
you
hold
fucking
on.
already started, so goddamn, keep going.
Okay, so here is the story then. I got a letter in the mail today, and I thought it was gonna be another like spam mail, like, oh hey, you can get 80% off on this thing. No, I decided to read a letter, and it was something that my health insurance sent me. It's called Singles Care. For single men that don't have children, girlfriend or wife, and is considered independent, I get a special card to be able to help me fund myself. So they're basically saying, since you're a lonely motherfucker, we're just going to give you money.
Where do I sign up?
Where the fuck is
Same.
mine?
Actually, what is the name of this? This is Singles Care enrollment process. Literally go to singlecare.com.
All right, so that website's going to get overloaded here in 2 seconds.
Yes. Winchester Wednesdays is not currently sponsored by singlecare.com.
Man, you
we
missed the
won't-
perfect opportunity to say, and so, because Single Care sent me this, Single Care is sponsoring our next guest, Forrest Rain, who's also single and sad. Bye, guys!
In the arms of an angel.
I haven't had human contact in 2.42 years.
I
mean,
decided
Second,
to start writing fan fiction, so I locked myself in my apartment. My only friends are the words on the page.
your
Isn't
blinds
it
fall
great
off. Your
to
blinds
be
fall off the window, and all of a
single
sudden you
and
just hear yelling in the background.
Oh, I'm so alone that I can't do anything by myself.
Isn't it great to be single and rich?
What's the most entertaining thing you've done in the last week? I cut my finger on a piece of paper.
I burned myself yesterday.
I
Intentionally or
talked to
not
this
intentionally?
person and they said hi back. It made me feel special.
Unintentionally.
Oh wait, no, they didn't say hi. They said, "Oh shit, get away from me." That's
Oh
what it
yeah, I commonly confuse those two.
I went and saw Call of the Wild. It was very good. I really enjoyed it.
I'm
Oh
actually
wait.
thinking-
Is Call of the Wild the one with the wolf?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
the one
is
with
it
the
dog?
dog and Harrison Ford.
What's the
Okay.
one? What's the one about the origin story of the first domesticated wolf? Was it called Alpha?
I think it was.
Maybe. The closest thing to that by Jack London is White Fang, which is literally you take Call of the Wild and invert it. Call of the
I
Wild
saw-
is yeah.
I saw I think it's
I
Alpha
read that.
actually.
Oh
Yeah, I just
yeah!
posted it.
So it came out in
It's Alpha.
2018. Yeah, I saw a trailer for that. It feels like only a few months ago, but considering it came out in 2018, I guess it was like 2 years ago. But it looked very interesting.
It is very good. I actually did get to go see it.
I am confused.
You know
Y'all
what-
are talking about weirdness.
We're talking about movies and dogs. And movies
Oh.
with dogs.
I'm actually really interested in go seeing Sonic. Two reasons
Sonic.
why. Number one, I'm actually heard that it's really good, and number two, I just want to like say fuck you to the people that are getting pissed off that Sonic is getting more views than that Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah. Oh,
I have heard that the story is predictable, but the acting from Jim Carrey and Ben Schwartz is spot on.
Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
It's Jim Carrey. He's gonna go over the top.
It seems like he's
Speaking of-
everybody's kind of happy that he's doing like more like 1990s, early 2000s Jim Carrey sort of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of
Alrighty then.
speaking of movies and Sonic movie, hey, Forrest, do you want to come up here and help me record gun sounds this weekend and maybe go see Sonic?
This weekend when I'm working?
I thought that you had this weekend off.
No,
Oh.
I have Friday off, and then
Oh.
I'm back in at 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Hey Rain, don't you ever want to come around to Lincoln?
Not generally.
Wow. Okay, fine.
What's in Lincoln?
Me?
Yes.
Yes.
But what else is in Lincoln? You know, things that are entertaining.
Me?
No, we're talking about actually entertaining.
Dad.
I don't want to hang out with my friends that live in Denver.
I think the only person that she semi comes to hang out with is me, just because I have a ranch.
And only once every several moons.
Yeah, you come up about, or we see each other at least about once a month.
Mm, I don't
Less
think that's
right now
true.
because somebody keeps taking our gerbs.
The only reason I've seen you like once a month, like I haven't gone up once a month, but you've come to Denver to work a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And then I had to transfer equipment.
And then you came up for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh, right, yeah. When there's excuses.
So did you introduce me while I was away getting water?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, screw you.
We said you were dead.
Oh. Well, getting water is a kind of dead, I guess.
So we now have CMC.
He's a
Forrest
master of
did some
existentialism.
necromancy magic.
Oh, that's Double R's Forrest.
Brains?
Purview.
All right, Double R,
Brains.
you're now a necromancer.
Neat.
The polite term is warlock.
The
It's not
So-
witch. It's not witch. It's warlock. Ah.
oh god.
So how's the water?
I am ready for the reading, but apparently the bottles were being annoying, so I had to actually rinse them out.
Oh yeah, that
So we've
reminds
got
me. I need to go grab my
warm
beer.
water because my tap up here doesn't actually give cold. I have to use a hot tap.
Okay.
My tap
So-
does not give cold.
These are the oldest pipes in the house. I believe that these pipes going up to the sink are still cast iron
Wow, that is old.
because most everything in the basement got turned over to copper, except for the last few things that got turned over the last couple of times he did renovations, which got turned into PVC piping.
Don't worry, I was in a house the other day that still had lead piping.
Mmm, that sounds lovely.
Speaking of water, okay, is it normal for like well water to be like super, super hard? And what I mean by that is like after I fill up a cup and drink it, it'll leave behind like calcium and grit on the outside of the
Yeah,
on
No.
the inside of the cup.
it happens.
Okay.
No, unless your well is like really shitty and not a well in Nebraska.
That's pretty. Pretty sure it's pretty shitty considering
It-
it's in Illinois.
Yeah,
was-
it
I
can
was-
happen, but generally you want to try and run it through a cleaner of some sort.
I have it triple filtered. I have it go through a forced filter, a gravity filter, and then I finally put it through a Brita filter.
So okay,
Your
so just so
water
you
is
know,
bad.
so just so you know, the water around here, the best water you can get is straight from a windmill in the middle of a pasture, and that water is so clean that Culligan tried to test it, and they said, yes, one of our systems could not do anything for you.
So basically the moral of the story is you should drink your water through a life straw.
I was thinking about it.
But basically the
straw?
The moral of the story is you should come visit me on like a monthly basis, and I will give you water to take back with you.
You should sell him water.
No, honestly, I'd be perfectly happy to have the personal contact of somebody just coming here and visiting me.
But if you sell him water, then you'll have money for food.
But if I sell him water, then he won't come.
Says who? People buy all sorts of water all the time.
Hey, Skyrays, would you drive here if I was selling you water for a price?
Sure.
Wait, is that something to just drink straight out of his pond?
Yes, here's a picture.
That's kind of the idea behind it.
He's gonna
Well,
spit it
no,
into
I
a
thought
cup.
that this was just going to be another type of Brita kind of situation. But no, that was actually a thing that someone was leaning down into the pond to drink with.
Yes, it's for like survival packs and like camping and shit.
Okay, I'm out of the loop of survival gear.
We
No,
use those
that said,
instead
it
of.
doesn't make the water taste better.
It just
True.
makes it drinkable
It'll
and
still
not kill
taste
you.
like algae-filled horse piss, but it'll at least not kill you.
It takes out all the virus, all the bacteria, and all
that
the
would be
stuff
called
that could hurt you.
fish
You
piss.
tasted algae-filled horse piss?
Is that something that you are requiring currently, Double R?
No, not piss.
He just pulls out a checklist. It's like, okay, she checked off on one.
And Winchester Wednesdays this week is officially rated R.
Double R.
Sorry.
I'm gonna need more beer for this.
Probably. I should
I
have
don't
gotten
think
beer
there's
for
enough
this.
beer to get you through this.
I can
Don't
make a
worry, I
white
have the
Russian.
hard liquor behind me. I think
still don't think there's enough beer to get you through this.
I have a nearly full bottle of tequila back there.
Not
Mm.
enough.
Don't worry, it has activated charcoal in it, so it'll clean out my system while I'm drinking it.
Kind of like your well water.
Hey, it doesn't have anything in it.
Not your well water.
Oh. I was gonna say, you've drank the well water.
Yeah, and it still doesn't make me like water.
Yeah, but you can't admit that it's not bad water.
No.
Doesn't make me like water. That's a phrase that I didn't think I'd hear.
I hate water.
Okay.
But you gotta drink it.
Nah, I don't drink water. I just drink things that are made out of water. You know, like soda,
You mean pop?
coffee.
No, I call it soda.
If I drink a single soda, I gain 25 pounds, yet you're over here and you're like 10 pounds. What the?
God just wants to punish you for existing.
That.
She can also sit over here and eat like 3/4 of a Papa Murphy's pizza, leaving I eat 2 pieces, and I'm just like, I'm gonna save this for the rest of the week, and she's just like, nope.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm so
really
glad
liked
that I'm not
pizza.
trying to support you as well as me right now.
Yeah, that would not be great
That would not be feasible.
by any means.
I'd be like, hey, do you want to go down to the courthouse and get married so that I can get more back on my taxes?
Oh,
Wait, are you gonna actually do that?
That's,
no.
well, kind of.
Y'all would get married for taxes?
Why else do people get married?
To lose half their shit.
Because
No.
family court is fun.
Yeah, I've done that. I've gotten married. I've gotten divorced. I don't recommend it.
I forgot
Wait,
that happened
really?
to you. Yeah, I forgot that happened to you.
We try to not bring it up on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it just happened to me. I was perfectly happy in the tundras of Canada, living by myself in my igloo, and then all of a sudden, a great American warrior princess came and stole me away from my land.
Fuck
And-
you, Julia. Jesus Christ.
Excuse
Okay.
you, her name was Rebecca.
I'm sorry. Something just totally happened that pissed me off. But yeah, keep going. I'm listening.
And so, having marched through great tundras of snow, I made my way down to the promised land of Washington, D.C. And I
Was
got
that when
married.
you changed your name from Tundra Snow to Forest Rain?
Yes! I became Forest Rain. This story.
I have to
could
start
have-
calling myself Double R because everyone just took your first name. Even
No.
though I was born with it from the very beginning, I had to make another name because you came down to these lands far before I did.
Well, in all fairness, I also knew Forest Thunder before you, so.
Him too. It would just be fair to call you Rain and Thunder, but no. You gotta. Oh, I was born with this.
Melded by it.
Gump jokes just for have to have someone else to get the time.
I mean, here.
Do you know how many people associated me with Gump? Do you know?
There, I fixed
At
it.
least 3.
Yes, at least.
I've
But then-
officially changed my name in the Brony Show server to just Jesse.
Okay, so now I'm referring to you as Just. So Just.
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 Okay, that's gonna get Lars really confused with Jess.
Okay,
I mean-
Joss.
Just. That already happens.
I know.
Gotta give me that just.
There, how's that? Does that work better?
I mean, Cinder will recognize you better.
My name is Chifundo.
Great. Is Chifundo going to narrate tonight then?
Yes, in rhyme.
Oh God. Double R, we
Sorry,
need to
I didn't put
rewrite
that
the
in
entire
the-
script to rhyme. And we need to do this like now.
What rhymes with gently?
Bentley.
Celestia closed the door behind her gently,
Bentley?
so as not to wake the sleeping
Very.
Bentley. When she glanced up and saw Luna patiently waiting in the hallway, she stepped forward to nuzzle her ballway.
What? Oh, great. Now you killed our host. Who's gonna run the show now?
I should run the
Sister,
show.
darling, please, no, not in front of the gods.
Oh, hey, Cinder's here.
I do apologize for being late, but yes, I have arrived.
Excuse me.
Are you here to murder a Winchester?
Maybe a little.
I want to see you try.
So you just missed the absolute joy of me reading Project Sunflower in Chifunda's voice in rhyme. And apparently Luna is nuzzling somebody's ballfundo or ball. What is it? Hallway.
Ballway.
Ballway.
Ballway. Yes.
And there's a Bentley in the story now.
There's a Bentley. Because Celestia closed the door behind her gently, and that rhymes with Bentley. Yes, so now that Cinder is finally here and muted and dying, most likely, we could probably get started.
Yeah, we should. It's like 9:19, man.
Yeah, we're almost an hour behind tonight. Whee! Although, did you want to do a quick introduction for Cinder?
Yes. This is Cinder. She's one of my new bosses.
Hello, I am the horrible one. This can be accepted.
Yeah,
Carry
sure.
on.
I mean, not quite, but the fun part is here we're on my show where I'm the boss.
You can stop telling yourself that, dear.
What?
I said I'm the boss. Hush out.
Are you okay?
I have never heard Double R with such joy in his voice.
He's become a hyena. He can't stop laughing. We're just gonna have to hit him with the tranquilizers.
Don't worry. I've got them ready.
Are you sure those are tranquilizers and not bullets?
Same thing.
What's the difference?
They
Anyway. Well, the hyena finishes cackling. Let's introduce tonight's episode. We are continuing our reading of Project Sunflower by Hoopy McGee with CMC playing Aaron and Pinkie Pie, Double R playing Twilight Sparkle and Rainbow Dash, Winchester playing Applejack, Fluttershy, and Tech Number 1, Cinderscript playing Princess Luna and Maggie Henson, Skyrays as Tech Number 2 and the reader of the letter, and myself as your narrator, Princess Celestia, and Rarity. Project Sunflower by Hoopy McGee. Chapter 19, Discussions. Celestia closed the door behind her gently, so as to not wake the sleeping mare inside. When she glanced up and saw Luna patiently waiting in the hallway, she stepped forward to nuzzle her little sister affectionately, who blushed in return.
Celestia, stop! The gods are watching.
She chuckled and drew back. Her sister always had found public displays of affection to be embarrassing. Glancing at the guards, she saw that they were staring forward, stoically. She's currently asleep. Please ask the nurse to check in, quietly, every hour to see if she needs anything. The guards saluted and Celestia inclined her head, indicating to Luna that she'd like to walk together. Luna nodded and fell in beside her in the wide hallway of Canterlot Castle.
How is she?
She seems well. She's in some pain, but that will pass.
Ah, that is good. You were in there for quite some time. I was concerned that something was wrong.
The poor dear simply wanted to talk. I kept insisting she rest, but she had so much that she wanted to say. I gather that she's been eager to talk to us for some time, but her superiors have forbidden her to do so.
Indeed. So, she is from another world, then?
Yes. Her actual name is Erin, and she's something called a human. They used technology to turn her into a pony and fabricate a cutie mark.
Such technology exists? It's difficult to imagine such a thing. Even using magic, it would take considerable skill and effort to change a character, a to change a creature from one species to another.
She says that it's true, and I have no reason to doubt her. Apparently magic doesn't exist in her world, which they call Earth, oddly enough. They've had to excel in technology to compensate.
No magic?
Luna shuddered at the thought.
I don't believe I would like that world.
Celestia nodded in agreement. Magic was such an integral part of pony life. Not being able to access it would be difficult, like losing her wings or her eyes. The sisters turned at a corner, walking towards Celestia's private study. The tapestries on the wall, some of which were centuries old, gave the otherwise stark hallway some life and color.
So, what is it they want with us? Are we under threat of invasion?
No, and yes, at the same time. Apparently, their entire world is being taken over by some sort of plague they call the Black Tide. It destroys all life it contacts and is slowly consuming their world. They are looking for a new home, and our world is the first one they've come across that they could actually survive in.
I'm sure we can accommodate some refugees, considering the situation. How many are there?
Apparently, there are around 7 billion of them. Celestia took a small amount of guilty pleasure at Luna's slack-jawed expression of surprise.
7 billion? Is that correct? Billion?
When Celestia nodded, Luna continued.
Are you certain that the word billion on their world means the same as it does on ours?
Yes, I am quite sure. Luna was momentarily dumbstruck, as Celestia herself had been where she'd heard that same news from Aaron.
Celestia, it is not possible for us to accommodate that many of these humans for any length of time, not unless they are all the size of ants.
Apparently, they're larger than the average pony, standing about as tall as you or I.
Oh, My, this will be difficult indeed. How will we help them?
Celestia stopped and smiled, nuzzling her sister affectionately once again, who blushed once more.
What was that for?
For asking how we would help them, rather than asking if we should, or how we could stop them from coming. Regarding your question, I have some ideas. I'm going to convene some of my ministers and advisors in my private study to discuss some of our options.
We should also talk to the ambassadors for the foreign nations in order to keep them informed.
Very good idea, sister. Let us make some plans for the future, shall we?
No.
Celestia looked at her in surprise.
Sister, you've just spoken to a former student and protege of yours who returned, apparently from the dead, by practicing some of the foulest, most forbidden magic I can imagine. You then saw him destroyed by the elements of harmony. Please, do not pretend you are unaffected. Sometimes life gives you burdens, and occasionally those burdens can be too much to bear on your own. When you live a life spanning centuries, that is even more true. There are simply times when even the even the wisdom of a millennia can't guide you through the rough spots. There are two ways to deal with the burdens of life when they get to be too much. You can lie, both to others and to yourself, pretending that you're strong enough to deal with these things on your own, such as I. Or you can face the harsh truth, admit that it is too much for you, and rely on those who love and care for you to help you shoulder your burden.
Celestia bowed her head. You are, of course, quite right, Luna. My heart has been tied in knots since the encounter.
Would you like to talk about it, sister?
Celestia considered that for a while, then nodded. I think I would. Very much. Thank you, Luna. Celestia nuzzled her sister again. This time, the younger sister returned the gesture.
Of course, Celestia. What are sisters for?
The friends were sitting in the dining area of their private apartments, eating a quiet dinner. The chefs had all gone out, but Twilight had very little appetite, mostly just pushing the food around on her plate. She had quite a few things to think about, and the princess hadn't been willing to share any of the information that Sunflower had told her 2 days ago. They had been forbidden from seeing the mayor, not by Celestia, but by her doctor, who refused to let her undergo any stress while she was still recuperating. The wait was frustrating, and they were all dealing with it in their own ways. While they were waiting for Sunflower to be ready to talk, Twilight had sent Spike to stay with her parents. The little dragon had protested at first, but the promise of warm, fresh-baked cookies lured him away in the end. The door cracked open, and Celestia walked in. All activity around the table ceased as the princess spoke. She is awake. She would like to see you all. Twilight put down her fork and stood, glancing at the others around the table. Pinkie Pie looked excited and determined at the same time. Applejack looked reluctant, and Rainbow Dash looked angry, which was not a surprise. The Pegasus had been working herself up ever since she'd found out about Sunflower not being from Equestria. Rarity couldn't be read at all as she dabbed gently at her mouth with a napkin before standing. Fluttershy simply looked nervous, but that was hardly unusual. Twilight herself was concerned, anxious, and curious. She wanted to know everything about where Sunflower was, everything about where she was from. But on the other hoof, she was worried that what she'd find out would make her hate the mayor. The walk to the room in which Sunflower was resting was oddly quiet and subdued. No one said anything, as they were all caught up in their own thoughts. It didn't take long before they reached a room with two armored unicorn guards standing out in front. Celestia indicated that this was, indeed, the room that Sunflower was resting in.
You have guards on her door?
For some reason, that bothered her. A simple precaution, though I no longer really believe they are necessary. I really don't believe she means us any harm, though her presence here will no doubt cause us difficulties.
You've talked to her, Princess? She definitely a spy then?
I will let her explain it to you, Rainbow Dash. It really is her story to tell. With that, Celestia opened the door and let the 6 friends inside, before entering the room herself and closing the door behind her. Twilight's horn began to glow softly as she cast her lie detector spell. She didn't bother hiding it this time, and she had told her friends earlier that she would be casting the spell once they had a chance to talk to Sunflower. Celestia glanced at her horn, but aside from a nod of acknowledgement, didn't say anything. Sunflower, her head wrapped in a thick bandage, was sitting up in the bed and propped up by several pillows. She glanced up briefly as the door opened, and then returned to looking down at her front hooves, which were on the bed before her. Twilight was alarmed to notice she had several other bandages around her body as well.
What happened? Did she get hurt?
Ah, the bandages. She had some sort of device implanted in her body. Luna and I thought it would be a good idea to remove it, as that was what was keeping her asleep. Unfortunately, doing so required some surgery. We've accelerated her healing as much as is safe, and she will be right as rain in a day or two. Sunflower glanced up again briefly, before quickly returning her gaze to her forehooves. Twilight detected shame in that quick glance, and it looked like the mare had been recently crying. A moment of awkward silence ensued, before Twilight broke it by clearing her throat.
So, Sunflower, how are you?
Better than yesterday. I still have some pain, but it's no big deal. And my real name is Aaron.
I don't believe it. Even your name is a lie? What kind of stupid name is that anyway?
Sunflower, or rather, Aaron, flinched, unable to meet any pony's gaze.
Rainbow, we promised to let her explain herself.
Rainbow snorted and sat down heavily.
Fine then. Let's hear it. But this had better be good, Aaron.
Okay, well, I suppose I'd better start from the beginning. Well, as you know now, I'm not from Equestria. I was sent here because our world is, well, not to be melodramatic, but it's doomed. There's this thing that we call the Black Tide. It came from space almost 3 years ago and crashed into our world. It it's hard to describe what it is because we don't really even know ourselves. But imagine this ooze, and it's spreading out where this thing landed. Everything it touches melts it, I guess you could say. It absorbs it and turns it into more of itself. It's doing that to everything: plants, animals, people, even the dirt and rocks. That's why I came. We very recently found out how to travel between different realities, and we're looking for a place where we can evacuate everyone to. It's really the only hope for our people. Otherwise, billions will die.
Billions?
Aaron nodded.
Well, why didn't y'all just ask us instead of sneaking around like this?
We didn't know anything about you. We didn't know anything about Equestria, really. Well, wait, it's not completely true. We knew a little bit. We'd opened some windows, what I gather you'd call ripples, from our world to yours. We even created a few fissures and sent some probes through. I've never seen them before, but I'm pretty sure that's what those black things were that Malachite was using to try and stop you from reaching me. So why'd your probe thingies help out a bad guy? I don't know, but I can guess. Somehow he was able to, well, we call it hacking, when you bypass the security on a device and take it over. Somehow he was able to take them over one by one, and somehow that led him to me. I still don't know how he managed to take me over.
I think we're getting off track with the probes. I accept your explanation on them for now, but I think we should return to why you came to Equestria and why you didn't just ask us for help. You were saying how much you didn't know much about us.
Erin returned her gaze to her hoods, fiddling with them awkwardly.
Yes, that's right. We didn't know a whole lot about you. We knew what you looked like, we knew a few basic details about Equestria, like your gravity is slightly less than ours. What we didn't know were details like could we eat the food here or would it poison us? Was there any kind of weird radiation or something that we didn't know about that would kill us? And for you ponies, would you accept us? Would you try to help us or try to fight us? We had to find these things out, and so I volunteered to come here.
Wait, you ponies? You're not a pony?
Erin flinched again.
No, I'm not. I was turned into one to fit in better.
Twilight noted that her friends reacted very differently to the news. Applejack and Rainbow Dash just seemed more angry, whereas Rarity and Pinkie Pie both seemed more confused than anything. Fluttershy was staring at Erin with unease, as if she expected the bandaged mare to suddenly spring at her. And how do I feel about it? Twilight wondered. Ah, and how do I feel about it? Twilight wondered. Probably much the same as her friends, she realized, but also curious. Very curious indeed.
So what were you?
I'm a human. I suppose I could describe us for you. We call our world the Earth. We stand, oh, I'd say the average is slightly shorter than Princess Celestia, if you include her horn. We stand on two legs and have arms with hands, kind of like Spike, though without the claws. We're mostly hairless except for the tops of our heads and a few other places. Unlike ponies, we wear clothes pretty much all the time. Since we don't have any magic on Earth, we had to get we had to get really good with science and engineering.
Wait. You don't have magic on Earth? How did you get turned into a pony?
We use something called nanotechnology. Basically, well, we made these very small machines, too small to even see. There were billions of them, and they basically broke down and rearranged my whole body to become a pony.
Twilight was fascinated and mildly horrified by the thought of those machines.
That sounds like a load of horse apples.
I know how you feel. I felt the same way about magic when I came here.
So you were able to change like that without magic? That's wow. If your technology can do that kind of thing, I would really like to study it.
And I wanted to study magic. It's so different than anything I've ever seen.
Rainbow Dash didn't seem satisfied, but also didn't seem to be able to figure out any specific reason as to why. She sat there, scowling at the floor, looking aimlessly angry. Wait a moment then, Erin. That cutie mark story you told me, was it a lie? Erin blushed.
I'm sorry, Rarity. The story itself was true. That really did happen when I was little, but humans don't get cutie marks.
So what does this sunflower in your butt mean? Just pick it out of a hat or something?
Almost.
Rainbow snorted in disgust.
We knew from our probes and such that all adult ponies had a cutie mark, but we didn't know what it was called at the time. We thought they were just some sort of tattoo. The ponies just picked when they got old enough. They gave me a list of what they thought would be acceptable what they thought would be acceptable cutie marks, but none of them seemed, well, right to me. None of them seemed to fit. And then one day, I think it was the day before I was due to start the process of becoming a pony actually, I saw an article and it had a picture of a field of sunflowers on it. And they looked so vibrant and alive. The article itself was about how we were going to lose so much of our natural world to the black tide. And I was looking at the picture and I was thinking that the tide would roll over everything, including that field of sunflowers. And it made me incredibly sad to think that those flowers, and even the field they were planted in, would be gone forever within the next few years. And then I realized something that o- the mission I was on was to find a new home, not just for us, but for as much life as we could save. That field of sunflowers would be gone soon, but if we survived, then we could plant more. Life would go on. We would go on. I was determined that I was going to help make that happen. So, in a way, my mission was about renewal, survival, and hope. After that, the sunflower seemed to be the only choice for me. It felt like a symbol of what I wanted to accomplish by coming. It just seemed right.
There was a long moment as the ponies looked at each other. Rarity spoke, breaking the silence. Well, I don't know about you girls, but that sounds like a Cutie Mark story to me. Indeed, it does.
How do you mean?
You struggled and then found a purpose and an identity for yourself. In the end, you reached an epiphany that helped you discover who you were and what you wanted to do. And then you received a Cutie Mark. It's not exactly in the traditional way, but as Cutie Mark stories go, it's not bad. There was a moment of silence as they mulled that over. Twilight conceded that Celestia had a point. Aaron looked mildly pleased by Celestia's statement.
So, what now then? What's going to happen next?
Well, from what I understand, we're going to be sending some human ambassadors here within the next week or two to meet with the princesses to come to some sort of diplomatic arrangement.
Maine, what's going to happen with you, Aaron?
Oh, I hadn't really thought that far. I mean, all the humans are coming over here, so I'll be staying too. I really like Ponyville. I've never loved living in a place as much as I've loved living there. But I suppose I've screwed everything up there. I don't expect anyone to trust me, especially once I get turned back to it. You aren't staying a pony? Probably not, Pinky. I can't imagine what my mother would say if I did.
Hold on, hold on. Nobody said that you humans could come here. What if we just told you no, tough luck? What then?
We've been looking for months, and Equestria is the only world that we've found that has even a chance to support human life. Our world is ending. We have at most maybe another 3 years left before the whole thing is engulfed by the black tide. Unless they've found another habitable world while I've been here, then the answer is simple. Regardless of what you say, we're coming over. We don't have a choice. It's that or we all die. Besides, I don't think you would do that, Rainbow Dash.
Oh, wanna bet?
I don't think you could. Could you look a mother in the eye and tell her to take her children back to her doomed homeworld to die? Could you say that to a million mothers?
Uh, of course not.
Rainbow Dash looked like she wanted to say something, but then just looked away, deep in thought. Into the awkward silence that followed, Pinkie Pie calmly stepped forward.
That leaves one very important question, though. Probably the most important one, and nobody has even asked it yet. Okay, what is it? Sunflower, Aaron, whatever you want to call yourself. I have to know just one thing.
Pinkie walked forward until she was standing directly in front of the alien mare, who looked back at her warily.
I need to know. Are you sorry at all for lying to us?
Erin flinched back in surprise. Then her face contorted as her composure shattered.
Yes, every day, every single day. I hated myself for it. I hated every minute of it. I wanted to tell the truth, but at first I was too scared to, and then they kept telling me I couldn't, and I'd made up my mind that every other day that I'd tell you everything, and then they'd just end up talking me out of it.
Aaron was crying hard now, and Twilight started tearing up as well. She knew that Aaron wasn't lying. Her spell told her that much. The other girls gave her a questioning look, and she nodded. Aaron was telling the truth. She really was sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. You deserve so much better than me. I didn't deserve your friendship. I'm sorry.
Pinky reached out with a hoof and touched the sobbing mare gently on the shoulder. Aaron looked up, her eyes red-rimmed from the tears looking into the bright blue of Pinky's eyes. Pinky drew her into a tight hug, and Aaron's eyes widened in surprise.
In that case, I can forgive you.
Slowly, Aaron reached her own hooves up and hugged Pinky back, and then she started bawling again. Fluttershy, kind heart that she was already joining in on the hug and was crying herself. Rarity was dabbing at her eyes with a kerchief as she moved towards the three of them, placing a hoof on the crying mare's shoulder. Applejack had had her hat pulled low to hide her eyes. Rainbow Dash was looking away, muttering about having something in her eyes. Applejack stood up suddenly and then hesitated, looking indecisive for a moment before moving towards the bed.
Oh, shucks. Me too. I guess I forgive you, Aaron.
She didn't join in the hug, but she did put a hoof on Aaron's shoulder, opposite of Rarity. Twilight examined her own feelings and found that, in spite of everything, she didn't hold a grudge. Aaron truly did have a good reason for lying, with her whole world at stake and not knowing if the ponies would help or not. She obviously felt awful for the necessity. It was as if an iron band that had been constricting her heart suddenly released, and she realized that she forgave the strange mare, and that she still considered her to be a friend. Smiling, crying, she moved to the bed and put a comforting hoof on the mare's leg.
Rainbow Dash?
She looked back at the Pegasus. Rainbow scowled at the rest of them for a moment, before heaving a heavy sigh.
Fine. I forgive her, I guess. But don't expect me to do a group hug when I'm still pretty mad, okay?
Twilight nodded at the Pegasus. Then she heard the door open and glanced back to see that Celestia was leaving.
Princess?
Thank you, Twilight Sparkle, but no. Group hugs really aren't my thing. The princess gave a smile to let her know that she was joking. I'm glad you've all reconciled. I have a considerable number of preparations to make before the human ambassadors arrive, so I will leave you all to become reacquainted. The door closed with a soft click. Near the center of the group hug, Pinky looked back up and caught Aaron's eye again.
Well, I guess there's just one more thing I need answered in that case. What is it? Do humans like parties?
Aaron laughed in surprise at that, the first sign of joy she'd displayed since she'd woken up.
Yes, Pinky, we humans like parties a lot. Well, and you're all okay in my book.
Aaron laughed more, and the hug finally broke up, all the mares sniffling in the aftermath of emotion. Applejack was doing a fairly passable job of pretending that she hadn't cried at all. Aaron cleared her throat a couple of times, then finally managed to talk, her voice thick with emotion.
Thank you so much, girls. I honestly didn't expect you to forgive me.
You're not in the clear yet.
Applejack nodded in agreement.
Yep. You really hurt me with this whole thing, Aaron. I expect you to not ever lie to me again. If you do, well, I may not be so forgiving next time.
What she said.
I understand. And I still have a lot more I need to tell you. If I'm coming clean now. And I want to tell you everything. But before I can start, can I just ask you all one thing?
Sure thing, Sugar Cube.
When I was possessed in the forest, what was that with the rainbow? How did you do that?
The friends laughed, and Twilight started.
Well, Let me tell you a story about the summer sun celebration 2 years ago.
Director?
Yes?
Maggie was on her second day of the job as the new lead of Project Harmonics.
We, seem to be missing a few probes.
Oh, how many?
90%?
Maggie goggled at the tech for a moment.
We have 90% left, or we're missing 90%.
Um, we're down by 90%. Actually, 92. There are 38 left responding, and of those, about a third are damaged in some way.
Excuse me, what happened?
I don't know. Pulling the data now, but it's gonna take a while to review.
Well, keep me posted. Do we have a link on Erin yet?
Just about, ma'am. She's a bit further out than usual. We had to move a couple of the surviving drones around to act as relays, and it. Oh, oh.
What? Is she okay?
I mean, vitals are fine, but somehow she's missing the auto override implant.
Dead silence filled the harmonics lab while she rolled that over in her mind.
Well then, get to work on that data. I want to find out what happened as soon as possible. Get me a comm link to Erin if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That, wow, that's so cool. So this Discord guy is a statue now?
Yeah, he's out in the gardens getting crapped on by a bunch of birds.
Rainbow Dash, that's vulgar.
True, but that's what makes it hilarious.
The friends were now sitting around the dinner table in the private apartments. Once they realized that they'd been talking for a while, with all they had to say, they decided to move somewhere more comfortable and to also finish their dinners. Erin was more than happy to get out of bed, in spite of the soreness. The nurse had objected at first, but had finally relented after extracting a promise from her to avoid strenuous activity.
Well, I think that's enough about Questia for now. Why don't we find out some more about Earth? I'd love to hear about your technology.
Well, okay.
Erin felt slightly disappointed. This had been the first time she'd been able to ask questions without having to be careful to not be discovered, and she'd been relishing the experience.
Well, first of all, we're about where you guys are now, technology-wise. Oh, I'd say about 150 years ago. We had steam power, electricity, that kind of thing. But as time went on, we found newer and better.
She trailed off as she heard the soft click of an open connection in her ears. Momentary terror froze her. The last time she had heard that sound, the voice that came through was Malachite's. Dread filled her as she waited to hear what came through next.
Sunflower? Are you alright?
A moment later, a voice came over the line. Not Dr. Velchek, but a voice she hadn't heard in nearly a month.
Maggie.
Oh, Erin, can you get away to talk? I have some big news.
Maggie?
The other ponies in the room looked at each other in confusion.
Who or what is this Maggie, Sugar Cube?
Ah, Erin, maybe you'd better excuse yourself.
Erin shook her head.
No. They already know I'm not a pony. They may as know tongue work. They may as well know the rest too.
She saw the six of them were now looking at her with confusion and mild concern. Erin decided that she'd better explain, quickly.
I was meaning to tell you, but I hadn't gotten around to it. I've all sort of I have all sorts of implants in my bodies that are intended to measure and analyze things here in Equestria. One of the implants I have is in my ears, mostly so that people back on Earth can talk to me using, well, a wireless signal, which I can explain later. When a ripple happens, when a ripple happens between our worlds, we can actually force a fissure into being. Sometimes they're big enough for, well, me to walk through. Sometimes they're only enough to get a small signal through, like right now.
They're talking to you now, aren't they?
Uh, Aaron?
Sorry, Maggie, I already promised to tell them everything. Yes, Twilight. They are connected right now. I can hear them, and they can hear everything I can hear and see everything I can see.
The humans can see and hear us?
Um, yes, Fluttershy, sorry.
Fluttershy eeked and bolted for the door. Aaron watched her go, feeling sad. Of course, Fluttershy would find an invisible audience unnerving, but it felt like she'd committed yet another betrayal against the Pegasus. She sighed and turned back to her friends in the room, and was slightly startled to see a grinning Pinkie Pie standing barely an inch away from her face.
That is so awesome!
Pinkie grabbed Aaron's head in front of her hooves, in her front hooves.
Hello, humans! My name is Pinkie Pie! They can hear you just fine, Pinkie.
I am going to get into so much trouble.
Why is that? I don't know. Is it because they have really good ears? What? Huh?
Are you sure this is a good idea, Aaron?
Yes, I think it is. It is because they have really good ears? Who has good ears? The humans have good ears. We do?
That pony is confusing.
Well, you just said you did. That's true. Wait, I didn't say that. You're flip flopping. I am not.
We need to talk, Aaron.
You need to be a little less confusing, Aaron. We sure do. Hey, what's that we business? I'm making perfect sense.
Twilight was laughing hard at this point, holding her ribs, and Rarity was chuckling. Applejack and Rainbow Dash were just grinning in confused amusement.
I'm talking to Maggie, Pinkie. So Maggie's confusing too?
I like this one. Who's on first?
She's unique, that's for sure. Wait a minute. Did you mean me or Maggie? Yes.
Pinkie frowned at her for a moment, then grinned back and started giggling.
Oh, that was fun!
Maggie laughed in her ear. The laughter died down after a moment, and Maggie turned serious.
Anyway, Aaron, some big things have happened here. There's a reason why I'm talking to you instead of Paul Vilchik.
Is he okay?
Aaron felt concerned Dr. Velchek had been overbearing, but he'd been the only human voice she'd heard for weeks now.
It depends on who you ask. If you ask me, he's fine. If you ask him, he was unjustly placed under house arrest for ethics violations.
What?
Maggie sighed in her ear.
You'd better be sitting down for this one, honey, because it's a doozy.
He did what?
Aaron bolted to her hooves. Twilight flinched in surprise, as did the other non-human ponies in the room. Twilight decided that, on the whole, it was really creepy and weird being in the same room with some pony who was having a conversation with invisible people. Aaron started pacing back and forth. She was obviously very upset, but no pony wanted to interrupt the conversation to ask what was wrong. Twilight herself was sure that Aaron would tell them once the conversation was done.
Did you know this was going on?
The five friends exchanged worried glances. There was a lengthy pause while Aaron listened to the voice in her head.
Wait, Dr. Edwards? We're talking about the same guy.
Another pause.
Well, I'm grateful for that. Please thank him for me.
More listening for a short while, and then,
Okay, okay, Maggie. No, I think I should just talk to the princess myself. Well, that's not really fair to them, is it? No, absolutely not. I said that I would. Yes, yes, I'll do that. Okay, you too, Maggie. I'll talk to you later, and thanks for telling me.
Erin slumped down by the table, seemingly exhausted. She rested her chin on the dark wood and stared off into space.
You okay, Sugar Cube?
Not really, Applejack. I just found out that one of my implants included a bunch of drugs that Dr. Velchek, the man who was running things, used to try and manipulate me. Whenever I got too stubborn, I, whenever I got too stubborn, he'd inject me, and suddenly I'd end up doing what he wanted. I feel like I'm gonna throw up
That's horrible. Why would he do that?
because I wanted to tell you about humans.
Wait, what?
Rainbow Dash sat up, looking shocked. Then her eyes narrowed.
Are you telling me that the reason you didn't tell us about humans weeks ago is because some stupid human was making it so you couldn't?
Apparently. And I was stupid enough to trust him.
Okay, now I really do forgive you, Aaron. If you want to buck that guy, I'll hold him down for you.
Thank you, Rainbow, but that's not even the worst of it. I found out what the implant that the princesses removed from me did.
What was it?
It gave them full control of my body, like they could move me around like a puppet if they wanted to.
Twilight felt horrified. These were the creatures they were planning on inviting to Equestria?
That ain't right. That ain't right at all.
Well, the way it was supposed to work, it shouldn't have been able to take over if I was awake. It was supposed to be in case I was knocked out, sick, or drugged or something like that. That way they could get my body back through a fissure and hopefully save my life. But Belchek decided to modify the programming on it, or the way the thing worked, that is, so that he could con- just control me however he wanted. That's why I passed out in the forest. He'd set it to put me into a coma the moment I tried to tell any pony what was really going on. Well, he's off the guest list. Lucky for me, Maggie found out about it and lodged an ethics complaint as soon as everyone else found out. He was removed from his position and placed under arrest, and she was put in charge. So that's good, I guess.
Erin idly drew a circle on the table with a hoof tip.
I wonder if the princesses would be willing to take the rest of these implants out of me. I should ask. I don't want them anymore.
Aaron, do you think that's how Malachite managed to possess you?
Almost definitely. He was talking to me through my implants just like the humans do. If he could do that, it makes sense that he could have taken over the override.
Are you going to be okay?
I don't know. Probably. I just need time to process this.
A few moments passed, and then,
Well, Pooh, this sure put a damper on things. Sorry, Pinky. It's not your fault, Aaron. Maybe this just means it's time for bed. I'm kind of tired, anyways.
That ain't a half bad idea. It's pretty late after all. Was Spike planning on staying at your mom's house again tonight, Twi?
Twilight tried to quash her frustration at not being able to ask Erin more questions about Earth.
Yes. She loves doting on him, and he loves being doted on.
She smiled fondly. Spike was such an endearing little guy. As much as she relied on him, it was sometimes easy to forget that he was still a baby.
I'll walk you to your room, Aaron.
Rainbow Dash quickly asserted that she was going also, as did Pinkie Pie. Rarity demurred, citing a need for beauty sleep. She bid Erin a sincere farewell, with an accompanying hug. If you ever feel the need to talk, darling, my door is always open to you.
Thank you, Rarity.
Rarity left for his suite, leaving just the 5 of them.
You coming too, Twilight?
No, I think I should find the princess and let her know how things went tonight.
Then she smiled at Aaron.
And my door is open as well, Aaron. If you ever feel the need to talk, let me know, okay?
You got it. And thank you, Twilight.
It's not a problem, Aaron. But remember, you still owe me some answers on what Earth is like.
Twilight smiled to let her know that she meant it only partially seriously. Aaron smiled back.
I owe you all a lot more than just some answers.
Twilight gave her a quick hug and then left to go find Celestia. The 4 of them walked down the darkened hallway, the sun having long since set. It didn't take long for Aaron to reach her room. She almost didn't recognize it without the guards. Many of the doorways in this corridor looked very much the same. Tentatively, she opened the door and looked inside, smiling with relief when she recognized the interior.
Well, this is it. Thank you for walking me back.
Ain't no problem at all, Aaron.
AJ gave her a quick hug.
Yeah. And remember, I'll help you clobber that whatever his name was, if you want.
And remember, we're here to talk if you need us. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And there's so much more for us to talk about. You deserve to know everything.
I trust you. Tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow.
They said their good nights, and there were a couple more hugs. The 3 ponies started walking away as Erin was closing her door. She made her way to the bed, and then noticed a large brown package on her nightstand. Concerned that she had in fact wandered into the wrong room by mistake, she was about to leave before she decided to look at the shipping label. It had the FedEx logo on it, and it was addressed to Sunflower, Royal Castle, Canterlot. Intrigued, Erin ripped the brown packaging off. Inside was a card and a thick cardboard box. She managed to open up the card well enough to read it.
Dear Sunflower, we heard that you had a bit of trouble after the Iron Pony competition and that you had to go to the castle for the princess to heal you up. We also heard that you were doing better, which is great news. We wish you the best and hope you have a speedy recovery. This place isn't the same without you. Get well soon. Warmest regards, your coworkers and friend, Speedy Parcel and Lucky.
Honestly touched, Erin carefully put the card to one side. Then, curious, she opened the box. The familiar smell hit her, and she grinned. There was nothing like a big box of expensive chocolates to take the sting out of a bad day.
And we're done.
Woo!
That we are.
I almost lost it at the end there because I said something really fucking stupid. And I don't know what I said, but it was like some mishmash of words that I found incredibly funny. And so like my voice kept wavering as I was trying to speak. Good shit.
It's hard going from the deep, sad tones of Aaron and the naturally bubbly tones of Pinky.
You did
Well,
My
it good,
throat
man.
doesn't like it.
well, I was trying to figure out what the hell I normally use for my Applejack voice, and then I realized because of my laughing turning into hacking, turning into coughing, turning into death earlier, I couldn't reach the proper area of my voice that I usually use for Applejack, so I was just like, Applejack is Big Mac today.
Yeah, I had to
Applejack,
definitely take
howdy,
Aaron
howdy, howdy.
lower than I usually do.
You want to talk about horrible timing? The second I start reading that, I had my voice and everything ready. And the second I get to the second paragraph, knocking on my door. Pizza showed up. That's why I started stuttering and I got lost halfway through.
Nice.
Lovely. Yeah, I was, and I sounded, and I was able to do Fluttershy without sounding completely terrible this time.
You did good.
Yeah, no
Truth.
more Mickey Mouse, Fluttershy.
Yeah.
want my friend.
I would love to be a tree.
I will pop a cap in your ass. Oh, I.
Why don't you come over here and say hi to my face, you bitch ass punk?
I'm sorry, but I need to pop a cap in that ass. If that's okay.
Can
You read the Bible, Brett?
just Fluttershy pulls out a gat.
There's a passage I got memorized. Ezekiel 25:17.
Oh.
I'm not saying the whole thing. It's at 10 o'clock in an apartment complex.
Yeah, this is as far. This stream is the farthest away that you're gonna get from reading fucking Bible verses on.
It's not even a real Bible verse. It's what, you never seen Pulp Fiction? Come on,
No.
I will fucking kill you.
Yeah, it's from Pulp Fiction. Everybody knows that.
Well, I know somebody who hasn't seen Smokey and the Bandit, so.
Oh, you know
What's
two then.
Smokey and the Bandit?
All right, your amount of people who haven't seen Smokey and the Bandit has just tripled.
Well, good thing I have more.
Thank God I watched Smokey and the Bandit yesterday. Sure. Mhm.
Okay, how about this? Here's the deal. You watch Pulp Fiction, I watch Smokey and the Bandit.
Also,
You
if you
would
keep racking
hate
the
Smokey and the
shotgun, you're just
Bandit.
gonna drop all your rounds.
Not until I
Shells.
get a guarantee that you'll watch Pulp Fiction.
But also, I know for a fact that that Jesse would absolutely hate Smokey and the Bandit because it's one of those '70s movies that she absolutely hates the audio on.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think when I think of '70s movies.
It's got like that disco music that you would like play in like a porno.
Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk.
Not quite. It's more. We got a long way to go in this short time to get there. We gonna
Oh,
do
okay,
what they
that's
say
all.
can be done.
If I'm
Yeah,
not
this
mistaken,
is Smokey.
wait, if I'm not mistaken, half the actors in that movie have porn stashes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of them is dead. At least. Probably a few.
I can't remember. Smokey and the Bandit is that one with the
The black Trans Am and the snowman rig.
Yeah, okay. I
Yep,
remember that. I
they're
did
doing
watch
the beer run from wherever to Texarkana.
Now,
that. Yeah, there's
is it
like
just me,
I remember.
or did Pulp Fiction have a black Trans Am as well?
Did it have a
No.
screaming eagle on the hood?
No. It wasn't was it a black Trans Am? No, I don't think it was a Trans Am. I think it was a
No.
Firebird.
Mm,
That Firebird is made by, or Firebird and Trans Am are kind of synonymous.
Different models.
Yeah, but still.
Same deal.
Apparently,
Actually-
Clouded in the chat knows a black Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Yeah. You jumping back in the W900. Yep. So the entire way down to Texas for HarmonyCon, we were in a convoy. And so I was driving the truck with the 16-foot trailer with all of the AV equipment on it. And then we had somebody else up ahead of us we were using business radios. We had another guy out ahead of us in a Ford Focus ST that was running blocker, and one time over the radio I just called Snowman to Bandit, come on back. And I just remember the guy who was sitting with me was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm just like, really?
This is the movie where the song that goes Convoy a lot.
No,
Gets fun. No?
Convoy.
no, that's Convoy. The movie is literally called Convoy that you're thinking of.
Okay,
I've
then
never watched
maybe I need
Convoy.
to go back and recheck the video.
The
The
movie,
old movies.
yeah, the movie that I'm
think
talking
I've
about, like the
seen
theme
Smokey,
song
but
for that movie was what I was singing earlier.
Yeah, I think I may have seen Smokey, but I keep thinking Convoy.
I hear in Convoy, and I keep thinking that about the Imperial fighter heading to the Death Star.
Wow, now I'm just imagining fucking Darth Vader in his lead tie, just like putting that on convoy.
You know what I imagine? I imagine
I got a big old convoy.
I just imagine the startup with like a close up of Darth Vader's face, and he's breathing as it pulls out. You see him inside of a semi truck cabin, and he's got a little girl just sort of going back and forth.
And we rammed the gate doing 98. I said, let them fighters roll.
I have you now, bitch.
Dark Lord to Black Leader. Dark
You
Lord
got
to
Han
Black
Solo
Leader.
in a VW van, a Volkswagen van.
Oh,
those-
yeah. Got them suicide jockeys. What the day? Friends of Jesus him find them that suicide jockey? Yeah, he's hauling dynamite, needs all the help he can get.
Oh, and Luke Skywalker is that redneck that kisses his sister.
Yeehaw!
Yeah?
That's not in the song.
No, but I'm talking about Star Wars.
He said with a mouthful of pizza.
Are you just gonna narrate life now?
He asked quizzically.
Because it's so much fun.
He stated.
She said, ironically, with a fair amount of sass in her voice.
Forrest, you're fired from narrating life.
Oh. Walks away slowly.
Oh god, I just started choking. Oh, that got stuck in my throat.
If it wasn't for the fact that I think Cinder would object, I'd have Cinder try narrating one night.
I do have an answer for this.
Hell no.
I knew it.
Okay, geez, don't need to be all teasy up there.
Clearly, you haven't spent long enough in a call with me.
Honestly, the only time I've been in calls with you is literally when we've been on stream.
But then again, really. Honestly, I really should do this more, shouldn't I?
Well, congrats. You've been on the last 2 readings that we've done.
You're part of the family now. Part of the family.
And you could never leave. Never.
Unless
Hooray!
you
It's like my last one!
unless you move to Oklahoma and don't take your computer and then literally drop communications from all of your friends for about 6 months and get everybody so pissed off at you, most of them don't want to see you again.
He said with indignation.
I'm surprised he didn't try to call you or anything.
Yeah, that bastard didn't even tell me when he came back for the 4th of July. Another guy had to tell me. Yes,
He
I'm
explained.
salty.
What was I trying to say?
And so,
Cinder, how in the world do you get that high and that low with the same voice? I'm sorry. I feel like you're 2 people.
Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, you fucking degenerate?
I really don't know where you're coming from.
But if you really want to know, it's called practice!
It's called a falsetto.
I think Cinder might have done a better Pinky than I did.
Hi, my name's Puppy Smiles. Have you seen my mom?
That sounds like it's going in a very
Your
sad
mom is
direction.
dead.
Am I going to be lucky enough to see that in the future?
Oh, what do you mean?
dead moms?
No.
Hold on a tick. I'm very confused.
I'm very confused.
Please, have a seat.
I think we just need to add fire to Winchester and everything will make sense.
Okay.
Why are
Forrest,
you
you just made me
firing me?
projectile vomit a solid piece of pizza.
You are welcome.
I'd play something, but
Oh.
my good electric guitar is currently in pieces.
So what was this about killing your mom?
Jesus Christ.
Well, she's lived a good life.
Time to take her out back behind the shed.
Yeah, Jesse, you might want to say goodbye to your adopted.
mom.
Yeah, Jesse, you might want to say goodbye to your adopted mother.
Mom! Don't you be mean!
Jesse, you might want to go say goodbye to your adopted mother now.
I'll text her.
I will get the rock!
You can't tell me what to do anymore, Mom.
I'm going to get a very angry door knock pretty soon, aren't I?
Hello, son. We need to talk.
It's about me being adopted because it's too late now. I already know the truth. I know everything. I know that you and Dad are a bunch of fucking liars.
Well, see.
I'll just have to send her the code.
Okay.
Give me a second here as I type it into my phone. Get out of Dodge.
And she'll be like, where the fuck's Dodge?
It's okay. It's okay. There's something very important I need to tell you. It's a message I received from a very respectable source.
Run.
Okay,
Cinder-
Stranger Things fanatic.
Cinder would be a very... My brain just exploded.
Do you know how amazing it would be to hear her like voice a trailer?
It would be amazing to hear her voice pretty much anything.
I mean, I do work commission and requests. Like I say, give me a script. I'll record it. I've actually got a couple of things right now that I'm working on. Yeah, I've got 2-3 projects that I'm recording like tonight, but I just also ran. After those are done, I'll have run out of projects. So if you've got something you want recorded, let me know.
Also, you should probably explain what Dead Tree is to who was it that was asking? Skyrays?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, right! Excellent! Okay, so I'm directing an audiobook. Have you ever heard of the story Fallout Equestria Dead Tree?
No.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard of Fallout Equestria?
No, actually.
Get the fuck out, you fucking degenerate!
There was literally a Fallout Equestria chat in our Headmaster's channel. How did you not fucking hear about
Shit.
Negative, but this is a positive. It means that Skyrays gets to experience Fallout Equestria for the first
No. I know Fallout Equestria. I just don't know Fallout Equestria Dead Tree.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's basically the story that Fiora the Tank Girl wrote in response to working or doing a Fallout Equestria Dead Tree tabletop game. And so she took the experiences within the tabletop game and wrote it from the perspective of her character within the game to be an actual like better narrative than a D&D game is.
It's also an answer to Fallout 4 in the sense of this is how you fucking do it.
Exactly. Because Fallout 4 story sucked.
But my daughter!
Fallout Equestria
I mean, my
inspired you to
son.
play Fallout 4?
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Go play one of the better ones then.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Fallout 4's story was not that bad. By the way, there's a village that needs your help. I'll give you their coordinates.
Okay,
Fallout 4 story wasn't that bad. Oh, what emotional investment do I have in any of these characters? I literally see my son get shot, and I'm just like, good, the fucker's dead. I don't have to worry about him now.
I see my son in the glass case, and I see the old guy come around the corner. Ah, you're here. I just pull out a shotgun and blast his head off.
Yeah. My initial response to seeing that guy was, "Oh, this is the guy who stole my son. Here's my son in the door. Well, I'm gonna do exactly what anyone would do and fucking blow this guy's head off, get him out, and then run."
Only to figure out you just murdered your own son.
To be fair, he's a cunt.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah,
But
so I
that-
still haven't finished playing through the story of Fallout 4, but that's okay, guys. It's cool. It's fine.
you know, I haven't finished
Okay.
playing through it either. I finally got so bored and frustrated that I just agreed to never do it.
Heck,
don't blame
I've
you.
So many
never played
spoilers.
any of the games. I just know the premise. And I've watched Crim do a lot of New Vegas.
Okay,
New Vegas is
so,
amazing.
here, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to the first chapter in the WW chat.
I'll go
this-
ahead and drop the link in our other
Also,
chats.
through his shoulder.
I'm sorry, but every time I look at Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, I just can't get over how fucking janky it looks. I just can't get around it.
I have the same problem, to be honest.
Yeah, but the gameplay is so much better. That's why you mod the shit out of it, so it actually looks good.
Here's how I fix
it.
Here's how I make Fallout New Vegas look better. I download the Ponies mod, then I download the Calientes mod.
Yep. Oh, and I also do what is it? Enhanced weather and enhanced night.
That's pretty good.
And then I also do open Vegas.
Now I have to ask, do people here know what the Calientes pack is?
Not for sure.
No.
That's the NSFW pack. It turns everyone naked.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't use that because I was planning on streaming that.
Is what you said. Oh, I see.
I gotta be careful with that because I accidentally left that on when I streamed one day. I walk into a pub and one of my characters is just stark naked.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's right.
But what is a pub if not a hub for those who drink?
Also, by the way, I should also say, I did step out at least once to use the bathroom while Cinder was explaining things, but some familiar people that you guys all know are working on this project, including Forrest Rain and Larsis and me for some reason.
And we've got, let's see, Forrest Rain is voicing the hermaphroditic zebra of ultimate sexiness. You know, best casting I really could have gotten for Forrest. Really, Forrest is
Otherwise
just the
known as
perfect one for
difficult.
that one.
Yeah,
Now,
I also auditioned for this, but I got turned down. So
That was microphone quality. Get a better mic and I will fucking take you.
We've tried. He doesn't want one.
it's just, well, I mean, how much money do I have to spend on it?
$375.
Well,
Here, go online to Rode and look up the NT USB. It's the most simplest setup you can start with. It's a USB mic and it's got this type of quality.
Yeah,
Actually, to be honest,
mic was recommended to me by Larsis.
Okay, Double R, since you already have an interface, go out and buy an SM58 and you will be perfectly fine. It is $50 used.
Wait, he has an
But
interface?
I'm
I didn't know he had
here because I'm getting signals like I actually could have had a chance if I had just a better mic. Was that the whole fucking problem?
Yes.
Pretty much.
No. I mean, why
told
should I
you
even
that.
bother buying a mic anymore? Because it's apparently too late now.
You realize we haven't cast everyone in the project, right?
You realize we're only like working on like the third chapter now, right?
But everyone's
Yeah.
already. Not everyone-
No, everyone hasn't been cast. No, everyone hasn't been cast. Seriously, I'm the director. I know who's been cast. I am currently flailing in a panic in order to cast some people.
Hey, even with his current mic, we could have used him to be a robot.
But seriously. Okay, so where the hell was I? Right.
people that
Basically,
are in it.
it's probably look. This is probably one of one of the highest production value audio dramas that you're going to see in both Fallout Equestria and probably in ML, the MLP fanfic stuff in general. That's what you see in this chapter is the bare minimum of what we aim for.
Yeah.
So mote it be.
Let me put it this way. We've got maybe a 10th to 100th of the budget of the quote-unquote official Fallout Equestria audiobook, and we've already made more fucking progress.
I love that response. And we've already
And-
made more fucking progress.
That
and
is
quite
beautiful.
quite literally, one of my goals is to show them the fuck up so that once we do so, we can go, okay, now we're gonna do now, just as a victory lap, let's do the actual Fallout Equestria, because fuck you guys!
And hey, don't we already have the entire thing edited up in the same format that we do for stream?
Yes.
Because
Double R did that like years ago.
Yep. So, Cinder, when we finish this project, I already have something started.
What you got in mind?
So literally, Double R here is amazing at editing our fanfics, and because as you can see, they are definitely not bog standard. And he has edited the entirety of Fallout Equestria in the same form as our readings on nightly streams.
Yep.
So,
3 years ago.
format we're looking at here?
Yes.
Yes.
Might need a little
Cool.
touching up, but it's about this format.
Cool. Once I have either the time or budget, and I will happily take you up on that. In April, I'm gonna go ahead and make a little announcement. In April, we are restarting the Fallout Equestria Pink Eyes project, which is going to be much
give an
faster to
explanation of
produce and much more. It's going to be much faster to produce. Dear God, and yeah.
For those that do not know, could you give a small bit about that?
So Fallout Equestria Dead Tree is something like 40, 50 chapters, and like what? How long is it? How long is it
That's
for?
only 22 chapters.
You know,
100
here.
what?
Fallout
That's
Equestria
only
Dead
Equestria
Tree
guys, it's only
is
22 chapters.
okay. Fallout Equestria Dead Tree right now is 482,000 words.
Jesus.
Fallout Equestria Pink Eyes is complete and 134,000 words.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a much smaller scale, but we're gonna do this as quickly as possible.
What's the premise behind Pink Eyes for those of us that have never read it yet?
Fallout Equestria Pink Eyes is Fallout Equestria is a very grim, dark world. What happens when you throw someone that is both A, effectively immortal, and B, essentially an innocent 6-year-old driven by sheer unstoppable determination to find her mom, proceeding to wrecking ball her way through everyone's problems, accidentally fix their problems, and bring hope to the wasteland?
You get
That
Undertale.
was really accurate.
How do you fix problems by you being a wrecking ball?
Because Puppy Smiles is named Puppy Smiles, and it's a very appropriate name.
I just imagine just like Puppy Smiles coming out of nowhere and just going, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!"
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Ugh.
That sounds delightful.
Dear
Oh
God.
God, that voice kills my neck. God, that voice. Okay, so as you could probably guess, I fucking voiced Puppy Smiles for like 10 chapters before the last time we did this. It died. No, we were about halfway through when the project died. So yeah, no, I am entirely intent on fucking finishing this. But yeah, no, so my goal is to get this done and get it done right. It is a lot more lighthearted than most Fallout Equestria stories. The most bittersweet thing is the ending, which, if you're paying attention, probably, yeah, probably you're gonna get, you're probably gonna see it coming from a mile away. And you're gonna suffer as your heart is ripped out.
My heart was ripped out in 2017. I am fine.
Ripped out and squished, or ripped out and just beating and still hovering in front of you?
Squished, lit on fire, set on fire, stabbed a few times, then put back together, and shoved back in your chest so you still have something by which you can feel!
You missed the part where you feed it to the lion.
He's exaggerating at this point.
And
boy.
Commander says that he needs to read some FOE fanfics.
I have read plenty of FOE fanfics. Don't you fucking.
No. Commander needs to.
Yeah. It's kind of like me. So the reason why I was trying to start the Fallout Equestria reading project on stream was so that I could actually get through the whole thing, because
Yeah, because it's a lot, and it's not something that I would just go and read myself. It's something where I would prefer to be listening to an audiobook.
I mean, hey, that's why Shotgun Angel Productions is fucking here.
Also, are we still live?
Winchester,
Yes,
your history. You're showing your You're showing your internet history.
well, all that they were seeing is another
Just
thing
the
of Odysseys,
YouTube.
some Linus Tech Tips, and some Mighty Car mods.
Yeah, it was just the YouTube page from bringing up those links that he posted in the chats.
Whatever you do not click Control and H together.
Oh, so here's one thing. And I don't know if I've expressed this fully, but also on the docket are some of Short Skirts and Explosions fix.
Like Background Pony?
Yes. In fact, Background Pony is one of 3 that are my things that I think the production studio might do after Dead Tree is done. Yes, that Background Pony.
I would love to try and be a part of that, because it's a fun story.
It's a very depressing story, but it's also one of the most compelling I've ever read.
Yes,
It's
but
also
if
one
you
of the
listen
most,
to both versions of the music produced or made from basic descriptions in this from 2 different
I paid.
fans, it's beautiful stuff.
I bought the custom $250 dual printing for that story.
yeah, seriously. Another one, if we can find a good vinyl and Octavia, is actually the Things Tavi Says.
I don't know that one.
It's another of Short Skirts and Explosions, really good ones.
Okay.
By the way,
That
go
one
ahead.
I actually wouldn't. That one I actually wouldn't have to wait until Dead Tree's done, because most chapters are at most 2,000 words, and almost all of it is narration. So it actually works. The thing is I'd have to start getting canon voice alikes, which, oh boy, that would be fun.
I know that feeling.
Speaking of Dead Tree, I'm looking at the old auditions thing, and I can tell that the parts of which are cast and not cast is not up to date from what I've seen in the internet.
Yeah, I know. That's an old version.
I don't even know how much has actually been cast or not, which is just really making me doubt.
Yeah, that one is okay, so all of the main cast is, cast. The party is cast. There's still a handful of secondary and tertiary characters from book 1 that aren't cast, and we always need extras. Note, we've only cast book 1. Book 2 and 3 are not cast yet.
Is book
Dude,
3
I'm
even
wondering why.
published
I mean,
yet?
like, seriously, Lars has recommended me this mic set. You're telling me it's that fucking worth shit. That's what fucking blew me over. That's just.
So, yeah. Anyways, we're running pretty late here for a reading night. So, without further ado, yes, sometime I've been talking with Circuit trying to get, like, if he has, like, an open spot on his show sometime to just get, like, you and some other people in to talk about that. Because his show actually gets, like, more people viewing than mine. Like, there are a few dedicated viewers that I absolutely love and adore, and I'm so glad you're here. But yes, that there are more on his show. So, but yes, go check out all of the wonderful Fallout projects and see the hard work that a lot of us are doing to make that all turn out well. So, yes, we'll do shout outs. So, we'll start with Forrest shout outs.
Completely random. Shout out to Christopher Tin, the composer for a bunch of the Civilization stuff. Been listening to, oddly enough, Baba Yetu quite a bit over the last couple days.
God, I remember that was like one of the few songs I actually liked in choir. Baba yetu yetu yebenguni yetu yetu mi. Anyways,
I also enjoy that you actually know the lyrics.
well, we sang it in choir.
Oh, right.
I know the bass part. So yes. And next up onto Cinder.
You all are awesome.
Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. Next on to Double R.
Shout outs to antacids and having to wake up early for work.
Yeah, I feel you there. And next on to Skyrays.
Shout outs to Cinder, actually, because that was some really good reading, and also the audio drama is pretty cool. I was listening to it a little bit here, and I like it. Also, shout outs to shout outs to Forrest, who decided to leave before I could give her a shout out, for joining us again in another stream. And yeah, Blard.
Alrighty. And next on to CMC.
Fires, explosions, LOE, raw venison jerky. My brain is bleh, and my throat is tired.
Alrighty. And yes, my shout out goes to everyone that's out there in chat land and everybody who is here in call land. I was very thankful to have you all here.
Chatland sounds like a weird theme park.
Yes, it does. So yes, and
Chat
now
also means poop.
and now some
And
of
now
us
we stab Skyrays.
and now some of us, probably not me for a little while or long while. Some people are heading to Breadland. So yes, enjoy everyone, and yes, make sure to go check out all the stuff that we had a very long-winded conversation about just now. And yeah, so thank you all very much for shooting or for showing up. Shit, I can't get shooting off my mind. So anyways, without further ado, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here and end stream. Bye. Thank you all for showing up. It's been fun. This is Winchester 572 going 10-7. I'm out. Bye-bye.